Hey, how's it going today?
Yeah, it's going great, going great. Good to be
What
here.
what's your name?
My name's Israel Ajose, and I'm the Vice President of the Astrological Lodge of London.
Brilliant. And we are actually at the lodge right now, right?
Yeah, that's right. This is where we meet every Monday evenings. We normally have two talks from 6 till 7, and then another one from 8:30 till 9:30 every week. We do take breaks for the holiday period, so like the Christmas or the Easter, the summer breaks. But other than that, every Monday we're here at the Astrolodge. So yeah.
Brilliant. That's a lot of astrology. That's 4 times a month.
Yeah, yeah, it keeps us very busy. It can be a bit, if you want to say, demanding, but
Sure.
it's definitely worth it. I mean, for those people who are really into astrology, and there's been people here. They've been coming in for years, even before pretty much I was born.
Right.
I'm in my 40s, and when people sort of like say, "I've been coming to the lodge since the 60s and 70s," I'm like, "Whoa!"
Right.
I wasn't even born then.
Yeah.
So, but it's been going great. Very successful. And yeah, we got a good attendance and good membership. So yeah,
And the lodge was founded in 1915, right?
that's correct. That's correct. By Alan Leo,
Okay.
great Alan Leo. Him and his wife Bessie Leo were very much because Bessie Leo also was very much. Although I suppose with all couples, one couple probably will take more credit than the other. But
Sure.
Bessie Leo was also, if you want to say, part of the engine. Maybe she was a bit more behind the scenes in a sense, but she was definitely also part of it also as well. She helped, obviously, set it up. She wrote particular articles for magazines and stuff. She even wrote a few books herself also as well. So she was very much involved, but we could say Alan Leo was definitely the forerunner. Behind it. It was set up by him, and in 2015 we celebrated our centenary,
Oh,
which
wow.
was 100 years, which was very great.
Brilliant.
It was great to be a part of that. To feel that something that was set up. And if my mind serves me correctly, I'm not too sure. I'm still doing some research on it, but I'm still trying to find. I believe this may. I believe definitely in the UK, if not Europe. It's probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest, astrological organization going
Yeah, it has to be like the oldest continuous. It's got to be one of the oldest in the world.
in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. So yeah.
So you're part of like a great lineage. How long, let's talk about you a little bit. How long have you been studying astrology?
So I got into it in terms of seriousness. I got into it in about 2004, 2005. That's when I really started to really take it serious. Like, this is me.
Sure.
I should be doing this. Prior to that, my mother passed in 1999, and as for not all of us, but for a lot of people who kind of get into sort of like astrology or any other, sometimes maybe they go through a particular kind of chaotic moment. And for me, it was that I was searching for something, I suppose.
Sure.
Because it kind of hit me hard, and my career was in terms of what I was doing before, because I was actually a professional boxer.
Okay.
So it started to kind of go a bit down. So I was looking for answers, I suppose. And as they say, astrology found me, or I found it.
Right.
And the rest was history. So I was still kind of like a little bit kind of, didn't quite know what to do with it in the first couple of, especially in the early 2000s, it's kind of, but then 2003, 2004, I recall I went on the internet. It was my birthday. And I thought, I'm going to treat myself. And I just went on the internet and I thought, let me look up, astrology or tarot courses or something. Something was just pulling me. And I looked on, and then Liz Green was holding a tarot, workshop for
Wow.
the weekend.
Okay.
It was Saturday and Sunday. And I thought, right, that's me. I'm going to, so I booked it, and I went down there. And that was my first time meeting Liz Green.
Wow.
And Juliet Sharman. And it kind of just all spiraled from there. And obviously Liz Green was, she's the, we know who she is in terms of in the astrological community, in the astrological world, who she is. And it just kind of just grew from there. And as I was just blown away by this woman who was just breaking down the tarot and the astrological symbolisms in it also as well. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I need to do the course. So then the following year I jumped on the course, and then I did the course. I did the beginners. And then I did the diploma
Wow.
The diploma was actually 3 years, but I did it in 2. That's how enthusiastic I was about it.
Nice.
So I did it in 2. Graduated, got my certificate, and then the rest. I was when I was studying with Liz. She always taught me that never limit yourself. Learn as many languages as you can, and she didn't mean languages as in. I mean, of course, if it was literal languages, Spanish, Italian, or whatever, that's fine. But learn as much as you can from different schools of thought. Never limit yourself to one. So I've always kind of adopted that kind of philosophy, So I also did Vedic astrology also as well. And, but I mean, psychological astrology, we could say, was my real birth into astrology, or was what some people may call modern astrology.
Sure.
But I took it all. Everywhere I went, I tried to join as many groups as possible and tried to learn from different people. Bought different types of astrology books, whether it was traditional astrology, psychological astrology, medieval astrology, and I was just try to get as much knowledge as I can, and that's what got me to the lodge. So I joined the lodge in 2007, 2008 is when I came here, and I came on the committee after about a year. So 2008, 2009, I came on the committee, and then up until about 3 years ago, I became the vice president. Prior to becoming the vice president, I was the secretary.
Okay.
For about 3-4 years. So I've worked my way up, you could say.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been great. It's been a wonderful journey. Meeting different people, going to various conferences. I was at UAC last year. That's when I first met yourself, and that was it was great stuff seeing you over there and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's always great meeting you, and you seem like a great person to be running an organization like this. I wish I had gone to my first astrology meeting and met somebody like you, because you're such a cool guy, and you're always enthusiastic about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And because I was actually around the weekend, because you did a talk over here. I think that was 2008 or 2007, 2008. I think Claire Chandler was the president at the time, and you did a talk on Hellenistic astrology at the time. So I think there's history there, of course.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a good journey. So and just coming here, meeting so many different people. Again, we have different speakers every week. Many of them I'm still in contact with. We've become very good friends, and we exchange details, and we email each other, and we share information and data and things like that. And it's been wonderful. It's been great.
What's that like, having access to so many different astrologers and so many types of astrology? Like being in a place like London, it seems like there's a lot of options available for studying astrology, right?
Yeah, certainly. So yeah, definitely. And we've got quite a few schools in London. I mean, this is not a school per se, although we do offer a beginner's class every Monday for about an hour.
Okay.
Because we're a registered charity, so we're obliged to give something, as a charitable, due, and so we offer the free classes.
Nice. So people can just show up and do a free class every Monday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No charge. It's absolutely. I mean, it's only for an hour, and you know how astrology is. It's like because there's been times when I've taken the beginner's class quite a number of times, and I can see that they want more.
Sure.
Because it's that thirst for knowledge. But we do have some great schools in London. We've got the LSA run by Frank Clifford, which was also Sue Tompkins is also a part of that body also as well. We've got the Faculty of Astrological Studies also as well. I believe Carol Taylor is the president. So so that's and the Faculty of Astrological Studies is I think that's like the if you want to say the cornerstone, the foundation of astrological schools in London.
Right.
I believe Rob Hand is a patriot of there. Liz Green also did her diploma there also as well. All the top astrologers, Sue Tompkins, Kim Farnell, our current president also as well. So also Julia Parker. I believe also as well. I recall she got her diploma from there. So that's everybody knows of the Faculty of Astrological Studies. They're like the real cornerstone of in terms of astrological schools in London.
Right.
And then there was the CPA, but with Liz Green, that was also in London as well, not too far from here in Regent's College. But that came to an end. They still do online. Online
is that
still
Mizpah? Is that Mizpah, the online version, or there's a version called Mizpah that's like a spin-off or connected with CPA?
Yes, that's right. With the CPA, so that's run by John Green, who's one of our teachers at the CPA. So he then runs. It was sort of like a beginners, but now it's got intermediate level and it's got like advanced levels also as well. But they still have all the teachers, your Darby Costellos, your Claire Martins, your Lynn Bells. They still. Still do classes online, and Liz Green also as well. She still does online workshops and stuff every so often. So it's still kind of running, but it's just taking a different turn.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then is the Mayo School, is that another London one?
That's another, but that's online, also as well. That's online as well.
Got it.
That's run by Wendy Stacey. I believe she's the president, so she's in charge of that. And Wendy Stacey also used to be a teacher here. She used to teach the beginners class here at the Astrological Lodge of London also as well.
Okay.
So that's online. So that's available for people again. So it's like a correspondence course also as well. But that's very active. It's going strong. It's been around for many years. Great stuff.
And then aside from that, we were talking about just before we started bookstores. There's some amazing astrology bookstores in London, right?
Yeah. So we've got the Astro Shop. I believe that's perhaps maybe the most popular one.
Right.
Obviously the name.
The Astrology Shop.
It's like, it's there. They've been active for many years. But there are other bookshops also around that do also, they may be more kind of esoteric approach or, other kind of spiritual dimensions approach, but they will have astrological books. So there's Watkins. Watkins is a very big bookshop, and they've got a nice astrological selection there. We've got Atlantis, run by Geraldine, and a great woman. It's more of an occult shop, but she does have astrological section there. It may not necessarily be a big one. And then we've got Treadwell's also as well. Same thing again. It's more kind of esoteric, pagan magic kind of approach. But again, they're not sort of like alienating astrology, because astrology is a part of that world, one could say. Right. So they're very active also as well. There's Mysteries, a bookshop called Mysteries also as well, and they also have quite a little decent astrological department as well. I think maybe tarot is probably their main sort of like focus.
Okay.
But they do have astrology sections also as well, and they offer like astrological readings too there if people are looking for readings, to have readings also as well. So there's quite a number of bookshops within the area.
Yeah.
That sell astrological books, but the astrology shop is probably the most popular one.
Okay. And what about yourself? You also teach classes aside from or outside of the lodge, right?
Yeah. So I teach like 3-4 times a week.
Wow.
Two are online and 2 of them are physical classes.
Okay.
So I'm currently just doing a beginners, and then I've got sort of like an intermediate advanced level. So they've been studying with me for about 2-3 years now. And that's going very well. It's quite a big group. There's like about 12-13 of them in total.
Wow.
There's another like extra 2-3 who kind of just coming in and out depending on the subject that I'm teaching. So they'll I kind of have a program every term. So I'll list every week what the talk's going to be about. So they'll attend whichever one they feel that they want to engage in. And then I've got a beginners class, and then I've got 2 online also as well. One's sort of like beginners intermediate level, and one's beginners level.
Okay.
Also as well. So that's keeping me busy.
Yeah.
I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching actually more. It's quite interesting. When I first got into astrology, or when I first started sort of like really taking it serious as doing it maybe as a profession, I enjoyed doing readings and consultations for people. It's not that I don't don't like doing that. I still like doing that, and I still do. But I do prefer the teaching aspect of it more than I do doing the consultations.
Sure.
But I still enjoy doing consultations and seeing clients. It gives me great pleasure so that I can help them, or be of some kind of aid, or offer some advice to them. So that's good. But I do like teaching. I like speaking. I like teaching. That's it gives me great pleasure. So
yeah, you're really like enthusiastic and like passionate teacher, and that really makes a difference when you're a student, especially when you're learning a really technical subject.
Yeah, definitely. And there are some subjects sometimes that I feel that, that's real technical, and we have to go over it quite a few times to, look at the degrees, that kind of thing. So there are some technicals that's a bit like, a bit laborious.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't like, and I understand, because a lot of the times, especially for my beginners class, and I suppose it's the same for all of us. Like when we come into astrology, sometimes we just think, it's about the 12 zodiac signs, we can learn that easy, and
right.
10 planets, okay, yeah, we can learn that. Then you find, no, there's much more. Just I suppose like everybody else, just when I thought I got to a layer that, I've got it. Something came along and said, no. It goes much deeper. It's much bigger, much vaster than that, and there's just so many levels to astrology.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of when I read a book by Mark Edmund Jones, and in one of his books he stated that I've been studying astrology for 50 years and I'm still scratching the surface.
Right.
And I remember reading that and thinking, oh God.
Right.
How long have I been in it? 10 years? Okay, right. I've got another 40 years to go.
What have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, exactly. But I do love it. I feel it's like it's me, So
sure.
It's definitely me. I can't. I mean, you never know, but as far as I'm concerned, I can't see myself leaving astrology. It's. I just really love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
If there's anything, like if you could go back in time and tell your old self, give yourself a piece of advice when you first started learning astrology that would have helped you out, is there anything you could say to like the new student of astrology that might be helpful?
I mean, grab it while you can. My father always used to say, strike the iron while it's hot. Say hey when the sun shines, things like that. Because like I said, I got into astrology into the early 2000s, like 2003, 2004. That's when I really started taking it serious. But astrology, in a sense, was kind of knocking on my door from the late 1990s, especially after my mom died in 99. It was really, but I was still kind of seeing it as, not that I didn't believe in it, but I still thought it was just, so I'm a Libra, so that makes me charming, that kind of, it was real surface stuff,
right.
It wasn't, I wasn't taking it seriously. So I would definitely say to new students who are coming into it, it's a wonderful art. It's a wonderful science. I classify it as an art and a science, and it's extremely helpful. It's made me definitely a better person, and I'm for anything that makes anybody a better person.
How does it make you a better person?
Well, it's made me more mature. It's made me understand people more. It's made me more accepting of people. It's made me actually more compassionate. Whereas maybe I may see something and just throw straight judgments at it without understanding. Astrology has allowed me to, being able to maybe look at a chart or see somebody's chart, like, now I understand it. Just like many of us, when we get into astrology, I did the charts of the people in my family. And everything started to, right, okay, I understand why my sister's like that. Oh, dad, okay, mom.
Right.
Everything starts to, I get it now. I get who I am and who I am and how I fit into the grand scheme of things, into this family, to this tribe and to this culture and to this nation. And, so I'm getting to understand it now. So it makes me more understanding. It makes me, although I still question things, I don't think that's ever going to change. I'm always going to question things, and I think we should. I question things even when astrology. I don't just take things, but does it work? Does it make sense? And most importantly, can I find meaning in it?
Right.
And it's something that definitely provides meaning for me. It really makes sense to me. And rewinding my if you want to say whether it's transits or progressions or perfections. solar arc, when I rewind back, when I look back on my life from as young as I can remember and start looking at the transits, the perfections, the progressions, everything that was going on, and I was like, right, I see it. Oh, Saturn was there. That's what I got in trouble with the law. Saturn was, that kind of, so everything's like, I get it now. So it's really, it makes one's life more fulfilled, and I really get to understand the past now. I understand perhaps maybe mistakes that I may have made, and not to say that was bad. That's a part of my life. It's part of what has made me. But to understand that, I understand perhaps what was going on as to why I made those mistakes, and if I'm having similar transits or going through similar experiences now, I'm much more mature, much more. I can. Hopefully, I feel I'm much more mature to be able to handle those particular maybe difficult situations much more better than I have done when I was younger.
Sure.
So for students or people who are coming into astrology, new people, I definitely encourage, take it with both hands. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's more to it, because then when I first came into astrology, I kind of got sucked into the predict my future, that kind of thing. And again, I was shown that no, there's more to it than just predictions. There's understanding. There's a nature here. There's a characteristics here. There's an unfoldment here of, if you want to say, the soul or the human himself. It's really vast. It's really allowed me to really understand the world in a better, as a better place to be. Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Where can people find out more information about you? Do you have a website?
I don't have a website. I am on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm easy to find. Astrology of the Soul. On Twitter or on Instagram. Astrology of the Soul. You can also find me on Facebook as well. Israel Ajose. So Israel spelled like the country. Ajose is Ajose. So you could always find me there also as well. And I'm quite easily accessible. If you want to see me in person, you could always come down here at the lodge, Astrological Lodge of London. So that's at 50 Gloucester Place. The postcode is W1 8EA, I believe. So 50 Gloucester Place, London. So you're more than welcome. We have meetings here, like I say, every Monday. You can also go on our site as well, Astrological Lodge of London.co.uk.
Brilliant. And you meet here every Monday night, and the beginners class starts at when?
So the beginners class starts at 6 p.m. till 7. And then we have the main lecture, the main speaker at 7. And so the main speaker speaks from 7 till 8. Then we have a break for, have drinks and refreshments. It's from 8 until 8:30. And then the second talk will be from 8:30 and finish until 9:30. I mean, sometimes we go over 5-10 minutes. It happens.
Sure.
But generally that's the framework. Which we work under, and it's a cool place. Can share ideas, learn more about yourself and stuff, and there's so much here. There's so much different kind of astrologers as well. As you know, astrology is very diverse. So you have some people who are specializing maybe in financial astrology, some people traditional astrology, some people horary astrology, some people psychological astrology. So you have all these different kind of people who, they specialize in their own section of astrology also as well, and you meet, that again, the astrology is a place where we all meet. We can all kind of share ideas and stuff. So it's wonderful place.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me, Chris.